good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are in the world. I am AJ,
And I am RJ.
and welcome to the Us's podcast. This is our very first episode, and so we want to welcome you. But before we welcome you, we want to encourage you all to um, subscribe, hit that like button, share, comment, and comment. Let us know what you think about our podcast. And this is not the normal podcast. It is not your regular, degular podcast. And the reason why that is because we're going to be doing our regular podcast, talking about our journey as individuals and as a couple. And then we're going to have some interviews as well too. In addition to that, we're also going to have we have on the docket about three or four different AI season series. One is the Just Not Used to a Good Woman series. There's going to be about 8 to 10 AI videos of that. Then there's Just Not Used to a Good Man, another AI season series, TV series that's going to be on our channel. That's going to be about 8 to 10 episodes as well too. Then we have the Plus, which is going to be another 8 to 10, maybe eight episodes, AI series episodes. And then I think we have some other things. We have like a movie, an AI movie, Murder Saved by Marriage, and then I think Crisp. So that'll be another 8 to 10 episode series. We're also going to. We got some good ideas coming for y'all too. We also got some future episode that's called BV Night, BV for Life. So shout out to our BV Night family out there in Saginaw, Buena Vista, Michigan. And then we're also going to be doing some food reviews. We're going to do some reactions to some of our travels and just times that we've gone to concerts and whatnot. What am I forgetting? Is that just about everything?
I think that's about
Just
everything.
about everything. So we've got a lot of great stuff coming for you. But the sole purpose of the podcast is to talk about relationships, putting in the work for those relationships to be one that grows in faith, spirituality, trust, love, and most importantly, we glorify God on this channel. So that's the biggest thing. So we have a couple of collaborators and writers on the team. So shout out to Raina Ferguson and shout out to Kim Murphy. So they're going to be working with us on quite a bit of all of our projects. So we're very excited for that. With that said, again, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, comment, share, and more importantly, hit that notification bell so you will be informed of any and all new content that we put out. So that's all I have to cover for right now. Is there anything you'd like to cover with the people before we get
No,
into it?
let's get started.
Let's get started. Okay, so we're going to talk about how the two of us, RJ and AJ, how we came about. So you've seen the thumbnail. It has her priority, family, his priority, women. So we're going to get into that and give you guys all a kind of like a bird's eye view into how our relationship matured and came about. And we're going to cover it all in about maybe three, four, maybe five podcasts. So we won't be able to cover everything in just one episode. So look forward to that. So I'm going to let Pumpkin, and by the way, only I can call her Pumpkin. You may call her RJ. All right. So RJ, take it away, and you go ahead and tell the good folks how things started with you and I.
Okay. Um, well, let's take it back more than 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
In high school, we had crushes on each other, and neither of us knew it. We just see each other in passing in the hallway.
I
You knew I had a crush on you.
I knew
How
you
did
had
you
a crush
know?
on me, and I knew I had a crush on
How
you.
did you know I had a crush on you?
Every time we saw each other in the hallway, we were
I didn't
smiling,
know you had a
sniggering, and
crush
grinning.
on me.
Oh, yes, you did.
No, I did not.
Because I spoke to you, and you looked at me and kept walking.
I did.
Yeah, you did.
I don't remember that.
Mm.
I spoke to you. I spoke to him. Every time he tells his story to somebody, he always tells people that I didn't speak to him. And I will tell you this. My mother, excuse me, my mother always taught us, if somebody ever speaks to
Shout out to
you,
Mother Dear.
if somebody ever speaks to you, you always speak back to them. Even if you don't like them,
Right.
you speak to
Be
them.
cordial.
So, because I was very shy back then, I spoke low. So I'm sure I spoke to him. I may have said hi, and it probably was in a low voice, but I did speak. He probably just didn't hear me, but I spoke. So anyhow, um, so always, looked at him from afar and went through rest of school, graduated, went on with life. I was all about family. Still am. I'm
Yeah.
I'm I'm a big
Yeah.
person on
Very big
family.
on
I
family.
love, love, love family.
Mhm.
And of course, I joined the military, was stationed in several places. And as we go on through the
Thank you
podcast,
for your service.
you're so welcome.
Mhm.
I served in the Navy, by the way. So as we go on through the podcast, you'll learn more and more
Right.
about us. But for time purposes, we're just going to kind of touch little pieces here and there. But anyway, ended up in Georgia. We did get on. I saw him on a BD, which is one of our high school alumni page someone had created
Yeah.
many years ago. We became friends on there. We liked each other pictures and stuff. Still would never go behind the scenes. I guess back then, I don't know. It wasn't called DM back then, but I
Yeah.
guess DM
Inbox.
inbox. Never would go in there and say
Mhm.
anything. Would just like his pictures. And then somewhere along the way, Facebook came along. We became friends on there. Of course, he was with somebody, I was with somebody
Yeah.
all the time. He was always with somebody. So would never approach. Went on with life still, and then there was a silence between us because I think I had got off Facebook for several years. But for some reason, I'm going to be honest. For some reason, he would cross my mind. I don't know why. I don't know why.
You're not gonna tell them about the dream, are you?
I am.
Wow. Wow.
But for some reason, he would periodically cross my mind. So the period before I got off Facebook, um, I would see him on, and he was with somebody, and
Yeah.
um, I would still like his pictures and stuff because I always thought he was still cute, But oh, he's so cute, and whoever who
I was alright.
the lady he was with, she was very pretty. I don't know who she was, but she was very pretty, and
I know who she
I
was.
thought they was a really cute couple. They would take such cute pictures, and to be honest, at the time, I wasn't like feeling him like that. I mean, I still thought he was cute, and I didn't have the crush still, to be honest,
Right.
but I still thought he was cute. And I'm like, oh, they make such a cute couple. It's just weird, right? And he was just so goo goo gaga. Or whoever this woman was, he was so goo goo gaga over this lady. I ain't gonna get it wrong. He was just goo goo gaga all over this lady. And I'll be like, look at him. They just so
I
cute
don't know about
together.
all that.
You were, you were,
I don't know
yeah,
about
you
that.
were. But anyways, I would like their picture and stuff like that. So I ended up getting on Facebook,
Mhm.
and um, I some friends of mine had asked me, and I got off, and I was off for 5 years by that time.
Okay.
So some
Okay.
friends of mine had asked me to attend a concert with them in California. So I flew out to California, and I had a layover in Dallas.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that.
So you crossed my mind, and I
Mhm.
was like, dang, I'm gonna be laid over for 7 hours in Dallas. I should I should get on Facebook and inbox that dude, Andre Johnson, just like, let me inbox him and see. I was like,
Mm.
nah, he probably still with that chick that he was so in love with. I better not, because he probably married and still with that chick, so I better not just leave him alone. So I sat there and I didn't bother, but he was on my mind. I'm like, I could catch up with him and waste some time with him, but I didn't.
Yeah.
So then ended up back in Atlanta. The concert was fun. Went back to Atlanta. And then I had a military reunion coming up, and I got back on Facebook because I wanted to find out, hey, let me get the digs on that. So I got back on Facebook, and then I had this dream, right? Had this dream about him, right? I had this dream about him, and it was kind of spicy.
He was spicy.
It was,
It was a steamy.
it was steamy. So I woke up, and I'm like, why am I dreaming about this dude? I'm like, I haven't had any type of interaction with this dude in over 5 years. I'm not on Facebook. Well, I wasn't coming out. Why am I dreaming about this dude? So then, like 3 days after the dream, I had been on Facebook for 3 days,
Okay.
and it was 3 days that passed. And the first friend request that I had when I
I
got back
seen
on
you.
Facebook
I seen
was
you.
guess
Bing.
him. And I was like, I was looking around, I'm like, wait a minute, what is going on here? I'm like, I'm not dreaming about the dude. He's been on my mind throughout the years, saying he had no interaction.
Right.
And the first friend request I get is Andre.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like, okay.
You dreamed me up.
I was like, I gotta play this cool.
You got to play it
You know, I'm
cool.
like, I gotta
You got to
play
play
this.
it cool.
I'm like, I gotta play this
It'd be cool
cool.
about it.
So
Not
I was like,
overeager.
yeah, not over here because by then I was single,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I was like, you play this cool. So I waited like I think a day or two.
I'm not sure.
I
I can't
think it
remember.
was. I'm not literally asking because
Yeah.
I'm just kind
Oh,
of like, I was like,
but you looking at me and talking to
I
me,
was
so
like, all right. So I inboxed him
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, hey Andre, how are you? You know, just trying to be all cool and stuff, right?
Mm.
And then I think he responded back a couple hours later, and he was like, hey, how are you? Something like that. So the conversation was, cool. And then I somewhere along the lines, I think we just was, small talk. And then I
Yeah.
got around to telling him that I'm like, the weirdest thing? I said, I had this dream about you.
She was being mannish and fast
No, I
tail.
was not. I just
You
said I
remember how
had
your
this.
mother back in the day used to call the girls fast tail and mannish? You was being mannish.
Do you remember what you said to me?
I remember what
What
you
did you
said.
say?
I said, me? Little old me? You had a dream about little old me? I am so
And when you said that, I was like, he feels honored.
honored.
My eyes kind of like was like, I'm like, he feels honored that
Mhm.
I'm dreaming about him. So it was just something about.
Because by that time I was single.
I was like, wait a minute, he must not be with home slice no more.
On
So
flight.
I said home slice. I'm like, because if he's feeling honored that I'm dreaming about him,
Right.
So then he was like, you got to give me details about this
Yeah,
dream,
I
right?
needed some details.
So
I sure
then
did.
he gave me his number and said, you're going to have to call me and tell me about this dream, right? And I was like, oh, I'm getting the number. Now, do you remember what happened after that?
Mm.
All right, so he gave me his number, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I remember. I remember.
Now here's
I'm
where
gonna let her tell it
now
though.
here's where it gets really good.
It got a little too damn good that I was
Here's
a little
where it
jealous.
gets good. So he gave me his number, right? So I said, okay, I'm about to text him. Let me text him. So I said, I'm feeling a little good now. So I text him this
Oh,
this
did I gaslight you?
well
Did I
well
hype you
well
up?
yeah, you hyped me up by then. So I was like, before I tell him about this thing, let me just be a little flirtatious with him, right?
Mm-mm,
So
mm-mm.
I sent him this text. I was sitting in the bed. I was like hopped in bed for the night before I was turning in, and I sent him this text, right? So then I said, I can't remember what did I say. I can't remember exactly what I said, but when he responded back, he said, what did the text say? It said, um, this is
This is it.
I don't know who Andre is, but this is a number in Texas, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I said, this is not Andre. They said, no, this is not
But you
Andre.
continue with that.
But
You
this is a number
continue.
in Texas, and I was like, well, I'll be doggone. I didn't text the wrong. I said, this
I was
dude that
hot.
gave me the wrong.
I didn't give her the wrong number. I gave. I think there was a digit off or something like
Yeah,
that.
so I inboxed him. Okay, I said, I think you gave me the wrong number. This is the number you gave me. And then he responded. He said, oh, I am so sorry. I was one number off. This is the right number. Y'all have no idea how embarrassed I was. Even though the person didn't see me, and I
Yeah,
didn't,
yeah.
they didn't know who I was. But just the fact that I was so embarrassed still that I had sent that text to the wrong person. So I ended up, before I said anything, I made sure it was the right number. So I ended up telling him about the dream, and
Yeah.
and then that was kind of like the
Yeah, that's
beginning
what things
of
kind of kicked
how,
off.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
All right.
yeah, I remember that. And so, We got on the phone. We went from texting to being on the phone.
Yeah.
She was in Georgia, by the way. She was in
Yeah.
Georgia, by the way. And by this time, after high school, we went our separate ways. She went into the Navy.
Yeah.
We went to what, Virginia first or California? Where did you go
Well, when
first?
I graduated, I didn't initially go to the Navy first.
Yeah.
I started working at the
Okay.
mall,
Okay.
and I didn't leave until like 2 years after I
Gotcha.
graduated. I went
Gotcha.
to the Navy.
So she went to the military. I came to Texas. Um, and with school, um, started a family, was working and all that good stuff. But this is years before her and I reconnected. So we'll get into that in another episode. But for right now, keeping things consistent. So we moved from texting to talking on the phone, FaceTiming. In our FaceTiming, we were talking on the phone. We would pray, and I would read scripture, but every day, text, phone call, FaceTime. We talked, and then when we were talking, it was like we'd be on the phone for hours, and up until you would have to go to sleep, go to bed to go to work the next morning. So, um, but our conversation, we talked about God. That was the main thing because I had went on a transformational journey prior to us because I was not in a good place by any means, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically. Prior to that, like she said, the first time that we made contact on our high school alumni page, I was with somebody, she was with somebody, but I was with somebody, and it was very toxic. But not blaming anybody for um, any of the things that went wrong in my past life because at that time I did more running from God. I did more cheating, lying, doing all this stuff. So the one thing that I had to grasp hold of and understand about myself was I'm unhappy because of me. I don't have any peace because of me. I have all this high level of stress that's causing organs and stuff of mine break down. So I'm ill because of me. I'm attracting the same old toxic women because of me, because of the life I was living. And so um, it got to a point to where I was fed up. I was fed up and didn't have any peace. I wasn't sleeping. Um, I just was not in a happy, peaceful place mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. And so I just said, you know what? I'm going to just go stealth. I'm just going to get off of all social media, call my family, call my kids, let them know that I'm going to go, stealth for a while, for several months, because I wanted to give my life to Christ in a way where I died in flesh and I was reborn in the blood of Christ. So I had to do that in order for me to find peace, in order for me to be happy, in order for me to be healthy and be in a good place. And so I went through my transformational journey, and um, the transformational journey had took place before we reconnected the second time. And so at that time, I was like, hey, we talked about having crushes on each other in high school. Conversation was good, and I could tell. I picked up on the chemistry. I picked up on seeing myself with her and all this good stuff. And so I asked her the question. I said, hey, do you have a relationship with Christ? Because if you do not, then I would prefer for us to just remain friends and not pursue or progress into anything further. And so she reassured me that she had a relationship with Christ, and we proceeded from there. That's why every time that we text, every time that we talk on the phone, every time we FaceTime, God, Jesus, Scripture was in the mix every single time. And so we kind of took off from there, man. It was like it was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing. So we kind of progressed the relationship to the point where I went down to Georgia, to Atlanta, and spent some time with you. And I'll let you talk about that piece or anything else you want to cover after reconnecting the second time.
And you came down?
Yeah. Yeah, when I came down, I went down to go get my wife. You feel me?
Wow. Well,
You feel me? Go ahead, I'm messing with
I mean, it was it was well. I will rewind
you.
a little piece here because before AJ and I reconnected, I had asked Father Lord to bring the right person into my life because not that I had a lot of relationships because when I served in the military, I saw a lot of different people dating around and stuff like that, and that just wasn't how I was raised. For one, I wasn't raised
Right.
to be that type of woman
In the
that
street.
be for the streets. So
Right.
I've never been that type of person from day one. So I have not had like a lot of different relationships. But for the ones I did have, I felt like I just was not making the right choices in them. And you just get to a point where you just don't want to keep, at least for me, I didn't want to keep
Yeah.
soul time with different people because that's soul.
Yeah, that'll wear on you. Yeah,
You're
that'll wear
tying
on
your
you.
soul to, you're,
And
bringing
it
that
can open
energy.
yourself up to a lot of,
Yeah,
evil energy, negative
yeah,
energy.
you're bringing
Yeah.
energy into
Yeah.
you. So, just kind of sat down one day and had a conversation with the Lord. And we'll get more into the faith and all of that because, again, when we talk about faith with the Lord, there's layers. And
Right.
I thought that I had ooh, wonderful relationship with the Lord as far as my faith, but it wasn't where it needed to be. I thought that praying in the morning, saying good night. That
Right.
was as far as it went, but that's not where it needed to be, and it wasn't where it needed to be. So, um, the Lord later showed me that I wasn't where I needed to be with Him. But I did sit down and I said, "Hey, Father Lord, I'm not making the right choices, and then I'm tired of tying my soul with different people. Can you please bring the person that you want me to be with? Because I
Right.
know if you bring the person that you want me to be with, that's going to be till death do me part and do him part. So, and I know it'll be the right person. But I did, however, say I would love for these qualifications. So I just
Hmm.
wrote down a whole list of things that I wanted that person to have. And I said, so I'm going to remain celibate during this time that I am waiting. Um, so I make this promise to you that I'm not going to be with anybody. I'm just going to devote my time to myself, working on me, and just being around my
Right.
family.
Right.
So um, then that's kind of like when he and I reconnected. And of course, it took 10 years. I didn't think it would take 10 years, but it took 10 years. And I went through some things within those 10 years on my job, and we'll get into that too on another
Episode.
episode.
Yeah.
But when Andre came down from Texas, he met the family and everything, and that's when
Shout out to Mother Damn Pop. I know y'all watching.
and when he came down, that's when he and I started getting to know each
Yeah.
other because even though we were familiar with each other from school,
We didn't know each
we
other.
did not know each other.
Yeah.
We never,
Mm-hmm.
sat down and had a
Yeah.
conversation. We didn't go out on a date. We only saw each other in the hallway in passing, and that does not qualify to me
Right.
as knowing each other. So we were technically kind of strangers in a way, and then you have to
Hmm.
keep in mind over 30 years had passed
Right.
since we saw each
Right.
other. So even though we were familiar, we didn't know each other at all.
Yeah.
So we had to get acquainted with each other. And he had gone on his transformational journey. I totally did not know what that was, what it was about, what it entailed, even though he spoke about it with
Right.
me over the phone and stuff like that and share videos with me. But in order to understand what that is, you actually have to experience it.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
cannot identify with it unless you are actually doing it
Well,
yourself.
the good thing about it for you was at least open to it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that was very encouraging and refreshing that you were open to it.
yeah. So we hit started off pretty good initially, but we did hit a lot of
Yeah.
speed bumps too.
When you settled in.
Because for me, I thought once he came down, everything was going to be just peaches and cream and no,
White picket
white
fences
picket
and
fences.
green
I
grass,
truly
yellow
did. It's
dandelions.
like what I fantasized about. I mean, seriously, I thought it was
Yeah.
just going to be just smooth sailing, and it wasn't that at all. And I'm
Right.
just being honest
Yeah.
because for one, um,
It was a lifestyle change.
it was a lifestyle
Yeah.
change. I never lived with a guy before, and when I sat down and asked the Lord to bring the guy that He wanted me to be
Right.
with, I did not do this, which I highly recommend for
Hmm.
those who are single, and this is for both men and women. If you are praying to the Lord to bring that person to you,
Right.
you also have to ask Him to prepare you for that
Right.
person you're asking
Yeah.
for.
Work on you.
Yeah, because I did not say, Father God, prepare me emotionally, prepare me
Hmm.
spiritually, prepare me mentally, prepare me physically. I did not ask for any of those things because I didn't know how to. I just asked for this is what I want.
Yeah.
But I didn't say also prepare me
Yeah.
for this
Yeah.
too, so I can be prepared to receive what I'm asking for.
It's like those, a lot of people be what's trending in relationships and all these little, what do they call them, relationship experts. They talk
Yeah,
about